Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Angel from Simply Angel Tia. In this video I'm going to show you guys how to do this nice blouse type of shirt that we're doing. It's mesh, so everything is 100% mesh. And I did this because I did the bolero or the crop top mesh top that I did. I'll show you guys the image here. And one of you lovelies asked if I could do the exact same thing but except to flare out the sleeves from the arm, or for the arms to flare it all the way from the bottom of the shoulder and just to stop at the elbow. And as you can see here, this is exactly what I did. So instead of flaring it at the end and instead of doing it as a long sleeve, I just did it so that I started flaring my sleeves from here, and then when I hit to where the elbow is, I stopped there. So this is pretty much a request. So instead of doing the top in exact same colors again, I decided to just kind of play with the colors here a little bit. With that top that I'm talking about that is on the channel now, I think I used cotton yarn to do the crop top mesh top, and for this one I use acrylic. And of course yeah, so this is the difference. This is how it looks here. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and I will show you guys what I'm using for this, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay my lovelies, so for this project we're going to use just these two colors here. You can obviously use any colors of your choice and any yarn of your choice, but both of these are 100% acrylic. This one is from Hobby. It's we had yarn, and this one is from a brand that I found here in France. This I cannot say, so I'm not gonna try, but I can say bravo. And this is lightweight number 3, so it's this one here, and both of these are 50 gram per skein. This one here, the color is called, or maybe the color number is 08222, and this one here, the color is 4. I'm just going to refer to it as maroon and kind of like mustard color. Okay, and for hook size, they're recommending that you use 4 to 5 millimeter crochet hook for this one here, but I think it's the same for this, so I'll check really quick here. Crochet hook size for is 3 to 4. So okay, so I'm gonna be using my regular, which is my favorite, which is 4.25 millimeter crochet hook with G6 US. Okay, I have my scissors here. I have 2 stitch markers, or just have a few laying around, a darning needle, and my measuring tape. Okay, so I will go ahead and explain to you. Like I said in the intro, I'm not gonna start the whole process with you, because this is a repeat of the video that I did previously, and I've shown you which one that is. So you're gonna have to watch that video first. When you have your 2 pieces, 2 panels completed, then come back for this next part of the video. Okay, but let's go ahead and get this project started. Okay my lovelies, so I'm gonna go ahead and explain how we started this, and like I said, you're gonna have to watch the other video before you can get to this if you want to know how to create these panels here. But just a little bit of a difference. Obviously the other one I just used the red color to do the whole project, but also in terms of how many foundation chain we start with, I did 85 in this, and I believe I did 75 in the other, so there's 10 chains difference, because I wanted this one to be a little bit buggy. And of course the other difference is that I'm using 2 different colors here, and in the other one I just used 1 color. And I think in terms of the rows as well, I did more rows in this one that I did in the other one, so that is all up to you. So in this mustard color here, like I said, I started with a chain of 85, and then I worked my mesh like this until I have the number of rows I want for this. So in this one here I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. I have 10 rows in the mustard color, and then I have 18 in this maroon color. Okay, so that is how I did this one here. And of course I have a second panel that I also did. So if you line it up here, it's exact same thing, except, you know, just a second panel that is exact the same one, the exact same one as the first one. And like I said, the only reason I'm repeating this tutorial again is because someone wanted me to do the sleeves to be puffy, kind of like they flare out, but they do that from the very beginning, so on top of the shoulder. And then they also wanted it to go until my elbows, as opposed to going all the way until my wrist. Okay, so what I will do here, where the yellow or the mustard lines up, there's the where I change the color here. I'm just gonna bring this color across like this to the other side, and I'm gonna tie this here, because what I want to do is I want to see if I want to leave this section here open in the bottom, or if I'm gonna shut it. But the way I would be able to see how it looks is after I have completed the rest of the project, and then I would look at it. If not, I have left the string hanging here for me to be able to join this section if need be. So I'm just gonna tie that once like that, and I'll do the same on this side, where I will bring the one of the two strings that I finished the color change with, and I will knot it on this side as well, just like that. And I'll leave it like that for now. And again, I left these here hanging in case I want to close it, but I want to see if I can leave this open here just to make this project a little bit different from the first one. Okay, and in terms of the top part here, we're gonna obviously need to join. So I'm gonna make it so that the neckline is a little bit smaller than the first one as well. The first one I did the neckline to be very wide, and I think I will make this one is a little bit shorter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see. I'm gonna do a stitch marker on the 8th stitch here. Then I'll do the same on this side to see how big the neckline is gonna be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's see if I put my stitch marker on that one. Okay, so this could be the neckline here. It is enough to get your head through, but I think I will actually reduce it by 1. So I'll just move these to the next, to the left here, and I'll move these to the next to the right, so that it's only 7. So by stitches, I'm counting these gaps that we have here. So I'll make it like that. So I will close this guy here with the string that I had left when I finished the row, and I will close this side here with the same thing. So go ahead and do the same when you have both of these sides shut here, leaving your neck hole open. Then come back and I'll show you how to start the sleeves here. Okay, I will see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and worked a little bit more on this top. So when I was last here, we talked about joining the top here just so we can create our neckline, and this is what it is here, and we did that as well here. What I did as well was I joined these from here to the red, and the reason I stopped at the red is because I wasn't sure if I wanted to leave this section here open, because it could look nice to have this section here kind of open like this. I am not sure yet. I think I'm going to end up closing it, but if you do want yours to have this opening like this, you absolutely can. But I think I'm gonna end up closing it just because for some reason I thought it would look nice by just imagining it, but now that I see it, I'm not quite a big fan of it. So I will probably just end up joining these this mustard color section as well. Okay, so with that said, this is the big feature of this top is the flared out sleeves. And so because I freestyle my work, I decided to do the sleeve off camera just to see how it's gonna look like, and it looks super cool and very nice. And this is pretty much like, this is where my arm goes through here, and then from there on I just did this big flared out sleeve, and it goes right to my elbow. And that's just if it looks nice when it goes to the elbow. And also it was a recommendation that I was told what happens if I do the flare from the beginning of the sleeve and flare it out and then stop it at the elbow, as opposed to going it all the way down to my wrist. So this is what it looks like. Okay, and I added this kind of like a border of white because I thought it would kind of pop up these colors that I have here. They're a little bit of a faded, they're not the most brightest colors. So with adding this here, it kind of brings out the color of the whole top, and I'm going to try to do that for the bottom as well. So I will obviously join this section here, and then I'll do maybe 2 rows just like I did here in the bottom here as well, and of course the sleeve. So as you can see here, this is the opening of my sleeve. very wide for me, so obviously you're gonna make sure that you section out a space that has enough opening for your arm. I have very small arms, so this actually almost loose on me, but it's nice, it fits really good. So obviously make sure when you're joining, you're sectioning out a section, an arm or a sleeve section that is gonna be good size for you. With that said, I'm going to show you how we do this flare of the top of the sleeve. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my yarn and we can get started here. Okay, so now that I have my yarn ready here to go, we're going to go ahead and get started with doing the puff out sleeve here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a slip knot, just like that. Okay, and then I am going to, this is the sleeve, this is the opening of the sleeve right here. I'm going to just kind of move that like this, and right in the bottom here, which is the very bottom, I'm gonna go into that section here, and I'm gonna bring my loop through just like this while we hold the little string that we have tight so that it doesn't go all the way up. And then we're going to do a chain of 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then in that same stitch, we're going to do a double crochet. So we're just gonna go right into the same stitch and complete a double crochet stitch like that. Okay, and the chain 4 is the first 2 chains count as a double crochet, and the next 2 count as a chain 2 in between. Okay, and then we're going to do a chain of 2, and then we skip the 2 stitches here, and in the next stitch, which happened to be on top of the double crochet from the previous row, we're going to do a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet. Okay, like that. So we're pretty much doing kind of like a V stitch here, which is increasing, because if we just worked the way we've been working the body of the shirt, we would be doing 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet. But we're increasing so we can create this flare for the top here. Okay, and then we're going to do a chain of 2, skip the chain 2 from the previous row, and in the next, a third, you go on top of that double crochet, and then do a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet into the same stitch. So like that. Okay, so if you see, that's what we're doing here. And then you repeat again, chain 2, skip 2 stitches. In the next stitch, do 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet. So we're just gonna call it a V stitch from now on, because that's pretty much what it is. Chain 2, skip 2 stitches, and then next do a V stitch. So 1, chain 2, and another double crochet into the same stitch. Okay, so this is very simple. We're gonna do this all around the sleeve, all around the armhole here, until we come back here. So the very last double V stitch that you should do should be in this stitch right here. And when you have that completed, come back to the video and I will show you how to finish it off and how to start the next row, which then becomes your repeat row until you have the length that you're looking for. Okay, so go ahead and complete the circle and I'll see you when you get back here. Okay, my lovelies, so as you can see here, I pretty much worked around this sleeve. So as you can see, it's already starting to flare out quite a lot. So as you can see, it's super loose like this, but that's okay. We're gonna start to work the sleeve that way. And as you can see here, this is pretty much how it starts off. It starts off really almost wrinkled over here, and then as you flare it out, then you have that effect of it just kind of going out really nice and comfortable like that. Okay, so with that said, we have to connect the 2 sides here so we can start the next row. And this is where we're gonna turn around and work on the other side. But first we have to make sure we connect the circle fully, and then we're gonna start at the other side. And at this moment, we're not increasing anymore. So what we just did now is we increased in every single stitch, in almost every stitch, but we're skipping the 2, right? So that doesn't really count as every stitch, but we're doing, we're doubling up on every single double crochet from the previous row. We're doing 2. So that is a huge increase there. And now that I've done my final one right here, and the other one obviously have the beginning here, I'm going to do a chain of 2, and then I'm going to pretty much slip stitch on top of that, the chain 4 that we did, but we're going to do 1, 2 on the third with slip stitch on top. Okay, And then I'm going to do a chain of, actually we're going to go into this circle and do a slip stitch there as well. Like that, if I can get that to go. Like that. And then we're going to chain 4 again. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in this same here, we're going to do a double crochet. So we're not actually gonna turn and work in the circle. We're just gonna continue to work like this in a round and round. And then now that we have done that, we're going to do a chain of 2, and then in this stitch right here, we're going to do a double crochet, just like that. Chain 2, and we skip the chain 2 in between, and on top of the third we do a double crochet. Chain 2, we skip the chain 2, on top of the third stitch we do a double crochet. Chain 2, skip the chain 2 and go into the third and do a double crochet. So if you look at it here, we are now just working a double crochet on top of every double crochet from the previous row. But of course we're doing our chain 2 on between every single double crochet, and which is also matching the skipping stitches that we're doing from the previous row. Okay, we're skipping 2 stitches, but we're making chain 2 to kind of counter that. Okay, so your very last double crochet will be on top of this double crochet right here. Okay, this out of the 2 is this one here. Then you're gonna chain 2, and then you're gonna do a double crochet on top, or you're gonna slip stitch here, and then you're gonna do a chain 4, and then you're going to go into this stitch and do your double crochet, chain 2, do a double crochet here, chain 2, and then you continue that, and you do these all around until you come back to the same. It's gonna look the same like this, where you will do chain 2, slip stitch here, do a chain 4, and then repeat. Okay, so we're gonna do this until we have the length that we're looking for. So for me, because I've already completed a sleeve, I did 20 rows of this mustard color, and then I did 2 rows of the white, and this reaches just right around my elbow when I put it on. I actually have a little bit of this color left, and I think I'm gonna finish it off with that. I think I would like for it to have a border that is of the same color as the body of the shirt. So I think I'm gonna do 2 more rows of this color at the end here. And then because of that, of course, I'm going to do the same on this end. So I did 20 rows of this mustard plus the 2 rows of the white, or kind of off-white, and then I'll do 2 more of this maroon. So altogether, you should have 24 rows for each of your sleeves. And that is if you want to do the color scheme like that. You don't have to. You could do it however you want to do it. And then when I finish that, I will join the bottom. So I have the yarn to join this section here, so just shut it off. I will shut it off on this side, and then when I have a full circle here, I will do the 2 rows of the white and finish it up with 2 rows of the maroon, and then that's it. And then I'll come back to the video to show you guys how it looks like. Of course, while I'm at it, I will weave in all of my ends. So I have so many ends hanging everywhere from sewing and changing color and things like that. So I will do all of those before I come back. In other words, I will pretty much come back when the top is fully completed. But since you're just doing your first sleeve now, you will obviously finish the first sleeve, do the second exactly the same. Do whatever you need to do if you're doing any color changes or whatever. Finish all of that and then come back, okay? See you guys then. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and completed the top here. So as you can see, I joined the mustard color, so I don't have the gap here anymore. And as I said, I was gonna add a lining of the white. I also did say that I would do 2 rows of the white and maybe add 2 rows of this, but to do that on both the bottom and both the sleeves and the bottom, I did not have enough of this color left, so I decided to just increase the white to 4 rows here, and of course I just match it on both sides, and that's what I did for the bottom as well. Okay, so this is pretty much it here. So I know there's a little bit of changes with the colors there and how many rows I was going to do for what, but again, this is something that I just showed you the basic pattern, and then you can kind of play with it however you want. So the whole color change is not, I don't consider that to be important, because you're gonna do it with the colors that you prefer, not necessarily following exactly the color scheme that I'm using. Okay, But this is pretty much it here. So these nice and fluffy sleeves are really cute. I just tried these on. This is gonna be something that you can wear with jeans, you can wear with shorts in the summer. If you wear like a nice burlesque inside here, it's gonna make it look really nice. But that's pretty much it here. So I'm gonna let you guys go, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, don't forget to like, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.